Hey guys, welcome back to the Community Cares Podcast. I'm Dave. I'm the Executive Director here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet.
And I'm Chaplain Chaz Blackburn, and I have the honor of being the president of this amazing organization. As you can tell, I'm a little amped up. It's an exciting new year, and we've actually been trying to get this amazing board member to my right on for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're super just grateful to have her on.
Yeah.
She's the amazing Robin, if you've ever been to Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. She's also our part-time backroom supervisor and manager. But she's also
very part-time.
Very part-time, but she donates so much time, and she's been the treasurer for us, and now she's a board of director in addition, as she stepped up into that role. But I've always been blown away by your kindness and your hard work and your dedication to our mission. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So if you want to introduce a little bit about why you're at Good Shepherd's. Oh, wait.
All right, just introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself.
The axe-throwing gnome.
Yeah.
So I got a story about that. So we did a board of directors, and mind you, we have a general counsel who's our vice president, Kathy. She's a board of director as well as the vice president, and she actually approved it. I was shocked.
I know. I was
as
surprised.
A board outing.
I thought
it was her idea, I believe.
It was her idea. It was good. It was fun.
Dave was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do an outing. We're thinking the axe throwing." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I know. She was the one that came up with it. So yeah.
But anyway, so it was a really great time with all the great board members that were with us, and she's throwing axes, and she also plays video games online. Fun fact. And so one of her characters is a gnome, and so she envisioned being the gnome, and she started nailing bullseyes as the axe throwing gnome. It was crazy awesome.
It was crazy because I did not expect it at all. It was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, you did great.
I wouldn't mind doing that again sometime.
Yeah, we should.
I kept missing the target, and I just pictured Dave at the target.
Whoa! So yeah, this is the Community Cares Podcast. If this is your first time listening, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcast. Type in Community Cares Podcast, and it should come up. And it's because of listeners and viewers like you. So thank you guys so much for being so consistent and listening and seeing those numbers grow, seeing more people learning about the good that's happening in the community, because there's so much good happening for sure, and having conversations on different resources and learning about different people that are community figures. And it has been quite the journey, Chaz.
It really has. And I'm just so grateful for you, Dave, as the leader of this organization, who's really taken this up a notch and really turned the branding of who we are. It's still same mission, same heart, but really rebranded us into some collaborative spaces that are really setting us up for success. But just a quick recap again, I know that we're going to be doing press releases about some of the partnerships that we talked about last podcast, but super exciting things this year. So we're going to be looking at possibly doing a partnership with the Reno Community Corp potentially. It's in the early stages. That's on the report that will be released via social media, but we did, give away, and mind you, this is at thrift store prices. I don't think people understand. This is not like going and buying clothes brand new. We calculate this by the cost at thrift stores.
Yeah, we average each piece of clothing about $5, which if you actually go to a thrift store and pay $5 for a nice t-shirt. So, I mean, that's pretty rare nowadays if you go into thrift stores. I mean, most places, because Nika and I, my wife, we go and thrift all the time, and it's like $10, $15 for a t-shirt. Yeah. But lower guesstimates are always better.
So about $5 per article of clothing, roughly.
Per item.
And we gave away through not only our store, but our micro closets, which include Circle Life Guest House, Eddie House, Bristlecone, and some of the other ones that we announced. Those haven't started yet, but they're on their way to being activated. But $1.2 million worth of thrift store pricing closes, never charging the community to those in need. Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. And, it's growing. We're giving away even more clothes. And it's because of you donating your clothing and allowing us to process it. And you can be a part of that. You can be a part of that team. You can come and volunteer and hang out with Robin over here and me and we can have some fun here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet and, be on mission. I mean, it is crazy to see our volunteer growth as it's been growing, all the new volunteers that are coming on and all these groups that are wanting to. So if you if you work somewhere, right? and they do volunteer outings, which a lot of businesses do. You can choose Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet if you want and be one of our groups. You can email us at info@gsccreno.org, and we will connect with you. And it's a great thing to do. It's a fun thing to do. And it's not a crazy thing to do for sure. It's a fun thing to do as a group. It really is.
Well, and this organization is almost all volunteers, and which is incredible. I mean, when you look at the output for the costs that we have as far as our budgeting and what we spend on expenditures, it is truly incredible. I'll give that a thumbs up for sure.
We didn't do that.
Huh? I sure. Yeah.
I want to try this one.
Oh,
this one didn't work last time.
So I'm really proud, Dave, of the work you've done, and all of us as a team, and all the volunteers, all the board members, and all of you guys, because it wouldn't be possible without you guys. So volunteering, like Dave said, we would love to have you come down and sort clothes or help guests and customers. Oh, you did it!
I did it! I've never done it.
So much
That's
love for
pretty
you.
cool.
And
Almost.
So much love for our volunteers.
And but Robin's doing a great job. We're starting to get more and more volunteers, which we need, because you guys are donating lots more clothes, which we're so grateful for. But we need help. So please, if you're interested, go to getclothes.org. Check our website out. A lot of great stuff on there.
Yeah.
This is episode 74, I think, right?
Yeah, we're at 74 now.
Community Cares Podcast, if you're a partner organization and somebody who does as a resource in the community, please reach out as well at that info@getclothes.org, so that we could book you to come on the podcast and talk about, what you offer the community.
Yeah.
And also, you can give financially. And so you guys we had the biggest giving year that I know of, at least since I've been here, as far as the community giving. We raised a little over $112,000 through grants and your generous donations.
Yep.
We won... and we just thank you. From the top down, we got the 100% Giving Board Award from Northern Nevada Community Cares Community Foundation.
Yep.
And so it's not just the board, though. It's mostly the people that are donating outside of this organization. We just want to thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So if people look at us and they say, oh, they got another grant. They got a $10,000 grant. Well, that's great. And that's super appreciative of Redfield and Estelle, Jake Kelsey Foundation, and all the different foundations that are a part of what we're doing. Like that's huge. We need that support. But a $10,000 grant is great, but our budget is $130,000. So, and that's going to go up probably this year, and because we have big vision, we have big ideas. So that's a drop in the bucket compared to the individual giver like you who's donating. So thank you guys so much. I mean, it is huge to see how many people are donating monthly, churches that are donating monthly, the people, right? I mean, just people like you and me. But it all comes together, and it's all about the community coming together, and that's the goal.
And really, every donation matters. Whether it's $1, I've actually seen someone donate out there $1 or $2. That matters. It's $20 a month. If you're giving $1,000 a year, whatever it may be, it matters, and we thank you. Another piece of that is awareness, sharing our podcast, which is amazing, and just sharing that on Facebook and liking it. Getting the word out. That is tremendous in helping us launch our vision for this organization. You're kissing the mic. You got something to say?
Oh no, you're. Good to go. Good to go.
I did want to say that we came under budget at the end of the year, which thank you, Dave. You did great. And we actually, under that giving amount that came in, our expenses minus an asset purchase for the Molina-powered micro closet, Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet truck, which we had received the money for the prior year. Minus that, we actually were in the black, $4,000 roughly.
Yeah.
So that is just incredible, and it's really just imperative. We do have some bigger goals. We talked about the CARES Campus launch
And
Human and Health Services.
surprisingly, there's actually bigger things we can't talk about yet, but big things.
I'm not going to talk about it. Jeez,
I know.
he's giving me the look.
Hey. No, CARES and the micro. Robin's over there like this. For our listener, she plugged her ears even though she's got headphones on. there's some big possibilities right now. Big possibilities.
Huge.
So that
Whole
could
nother
really
level.
could really change what's happening in the Reno Sparks area, and even beyond. Let me just put it that way. And we're still a small nonprofit. Our budget is small compared to a lot of nonprofits who is outputting.
Oh my
what
goodness!
we're doing
Compared to our output, it's crazy.
Right. So your donation here goes really far. Your clothing and financial donations here go really far. I had a conversation with John Klippenstein. He's going to come back on the podcast soon, so I got him scheduled. Bummer.
Oh, just see
what?
John,
He's our landlord. You better be nice.
I love John. He's a great guy. I'm an amazing man giving back to the community.
Yeah. We had a meeting yesterday, and he said, Good Shepherd is so important because of people that need that clothing. And someone had a bag, I guess, a few months ago or something I don't know the exact time, but he said there was someone who had a bag, and they were just giving clothing out of the bag. What happened after they gave that clothing out of the bag ended up next to the church, in a trash bin because no one was able to actually get what they needed.
Right.
It was just random clothing, an assortment of clothing in that bag, and then it creates waste, and then it creates, we don't want to dirty up our streets because we're trying to be generous. What are we doing?
Yeah. Like Grant said, it's got to be strategic and meaningful.
Right.
The way that you give
and sustainable.
And sustainable, right?
Like you're gonna give someone that needs an extra large shirt, extra small. Like come on, this doesn't make sense. That doesn't show hope or dignity.
No.
So when you donate clothing and financially to us, it really goes further for that individual because they don't have to buy clothing. They don't have to buy a blanket at a thrift store. They don't have to buy those individual items. And that was John's point. So John's like, we want to keep you guys here.
I love it.
What you guys are doing is so important for even our little shopping center here and the overall community. And you guys have vision. You guys are moving forwards. And so they support us and they want to keep supporting us because of people like you doing what you do for Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. That's the reality.
Definitely. And it's not just clothing, like Dave said. I just want to add and really highlight what he just said. So it's these people walk in here, they get what they actually need. They get to pick out a clothing item or a few items that they actually want and that they find, intriguing and that they would actually want to wear. But it's also the hope. It's hope because we're treating them like they're human beings and we're loving on them and we're offering them other services, wraparound services out here to be able to connect them. So it's that connectivity. So it's so much more than just that. And then I did want to, before I forget, because my ADHD brain are kind of all over the place, but Downtown Reno partnership we talked about, we're excited. So we thank you for what you guys gave. Just keep in mind, if you're able to give more, please consider us because we want to activate those programs. It's contingent upon funding and really be able to help people even further. But I'm excited.
Or write your council member.
Yeah, right.
Or call
council member,
or even go to a council meeting.
Yeah,
and represent Good Shepherd and just say, "Hey, Good Shepherd, they're doing good things. You guys got to do something about this."
Absolutely.
Like even or a commissioner or the governor. We exist because of you.
Yes.
We exist because people like you decided this is important for the community. So for this to continue and grow, that involves you being a part of it. Because everyone always says, oh, someone else is going to do that. Or they, the famous they, right? Oh, they're working on it, right? The famous they. People talk about it all the time. No. Who is the they? Not your neighbor. Maybe it is your neighbor.
Come on. You guys.
Chaz, poor listeners. Chaz is trying to do thumbs up.
Oh, fireworks! Fireworks for what you guys help us do. And guess what? Yesterday was our birthday.
Woo! Happy birthday, Good Shepherd.
Ready? Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. That's all I got. I don't want a copyright claim.
Good Shepherd.
That's a copyright song. You have to pay. You have to pay.
Ooh, that's a little little bit different now. That's
It is. Now it's
20%.
different. We're good now. If it's like a small, we don't get a nick. But
Seriously
if it's a bigger
though,
one,
29 years though, serving the community, what an
Yeah.
honor.
That's
and
amazing.
that's incredible,
cool.
right?
What a legacy.
What a legacy. So anyways, thank you guys. Enough of going over the finances, but we wanted to do another year-end recap and just really set the tone for 2025 and all the work that Dave's going to do and Robin and just kidding.
And Robin. And,
Well, and that's why it's so important for us to not just say, "Oh, they're doing that." We're not a large nonprofit.
No.
we need your supports.
Yes. We are doing it together, all of us.
We are doing it. Yeah, not
You,
they.
us.
So you doing anything, sharing this podcast, donating $20 a month, coming to our events, sharing our events, being a part of what we're doing. I mean, without you, we don't exist. And I always say that, and I know that gets a little repetitive, but it's true. Like, if something's true, it's going to be true, which is the fact that we don't exist without you, the listener, the viewer. So thank you. We're going to move on to our event segment after that long intro, which is true. It is our birthday. And so we're going to party in here. Hopefully I'm going to have like some music. I'll put some music and stuff. Yeah.
Is this going to work?
I don't know.
I can't ever
should
get
have
this.
birthday
doesn't work.
decorations.
Who showed us that?
It was Tori.
Oh, yeah, the lasers. Yeah. Totally
Give me a
forgot. I don't know how it works. I don't know. You look like you're being a Power Ranger right now. Power Ranger
It didn't
activate.
work. Oh, he did it. It was like so.
I
cool.
know.
I was like,
And it was effortlessly. I know. Okay, anyways.
looks like Spider-Man too. You know. It's like,
Yeah.
Okay.
So today is Martin Luther King Day. Thank you. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So if you're celebrating, what's going on in the community today? I know there's a gala.
I think
saw
there's a
that.
gala. I also think there's a small little parade. Actually,
Okay, yeah.
I'm not sure where it is, but if you Google it, there's some different little
I
gatherings.
tried to find it. It wasn't well advertised.
Yeah.
So
I did hear about something, but regardless, you guys, it is a really important day to remember because when we look back, history sometimes really sucks, and when we look back at the history of our country, there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad, and it's important to remember, especially as we go through these turbulent times. Now, with today, we have a new president who's being inaugurated, and it's important to remember unity. I think it's an appropriate day that regardless of differences, we're all Americans and we're all human beings, and we may have our differences, but we can talk about them respectfully and disagree, but it's important to still love each other and be kind to each other, and you can do that with boundaries, but we need to stay united. We always preach that, right? We're stronger united, we're better together.
And we've had so many people of different faiths, walks, ideologies on this show, and we do that very intentionally.
Doesn't matter if you're gay, transgender, straight, black, white, Hispanic, right? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Whether Christian, Muslim, or you practice Islam or Jewish, we're all Americans, and we love everybody.
Well, and that's what this day is about, is unity.
Yes.
So, and so it's so important to be unified, because with that, what do we have? Well, people are social creatures. That's why we do the event segment. Right. We are social creatures. If we're not around other people, then life gets frustrating quick. I had a conversation with someone a few months ago now, and we were talking about how frustrated this person was about so many different things, and they ended it with, "But I've been home a lot. I've been home by myself a lot." Have you thought about going for a walk, sitting at a coffee shop, maybe meeting someone new, maybe meeting an old friend? Who knows? But the dopamine response in our brains when we have genuine positive social interactions
And connections, like hugs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Nick is going to kill me. Nick is his wife, just so you know.
is so important. It's so important to have those social interactions.
I love you too, Robin.
And and so that's important. Which brings us into our person of the day, who is
we forgot
Robin.
one.
GSCC's birthday?
No, number one we didn't talk about.
Yeah, the radiothon.
What's that? What's number one?
Well, I know I messed
I'm
up because I said the
joking.
birthday too soon.
Yeah,
took
I
your
got
thunder.
all flipped up. So, and then our last event we want to talk about. That was a really good segue, though, man. Dang it. The COL Radiothon.
Circle Life Hospice Guest House Radiothon with Lotus on 7 stations is going to be February 20th, and I want to thank Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet for hosting. You guys are awesome, and that's what I love about Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet is you guys always open your doors to help partner organizations, and we partner together with us, because of the micro closet for the Circle Life Guest House. And if you don't know what it is, it's really important though. When this actually goes live, or I guess is released, we will have helped 29 individuals since our opening in June.
Wow.
And some of these people have families, some don't. But these are people from living on the streets who are at the Caris campus who have nowhere to go, to being in the hospital, or even maybe living out in the rurals and not being able to get caregivers out there, even if they have money. But it affects every level of society. If I told you some of the stories, and maybe we'll do that as we get closer, it is so needed for our community. It is a big proposition in the sense of that it costs a lot to operate for the 24/7 caregiving, the room and board. Dr. Larry Weiss donated a house and land. We only have 3 beds right now, but for every person that we've helped of those 29, we've had to turn 4 to 6 away. So the need is way greater than what we're able to do, and so we are looking at other options about possibly upgrading to a larger house, or doing the build out on the land. But either way, we're going to be able to help more people, and this is so critical for our community, and we need to raise a lot of money to keep it going and keep the doors open. So with that, we're going to have an awesome radiothon. And it's going to be here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. We'll have vans on the street from all 7 stations. We'll have food trucks, hopefully some other things. You can come on and stop by and come inside, or you can just call, and it'll be on all 7 Lotus radios for 13 hours, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Dave will be wearing a banana suit, dancing around with a sign waving. Right?
Absolutely not. No.
Don't ask.
Dave's probably going to be in here making sure all the technology is working the way it's supposed to.
I would actually like to do maybe a Community Cares podcast live launch that day, if possible.
Why not?
It would be fun just to talk about how it's going, maybe midday, and
let's
talk
do a
about
live
it. But again, this is what Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet's all about: partnering and just working with different organizations. But please do tune in. This is a critical and important fundraising event for the Circle Life Guest House through the Circle Life Hospice Foundation. And again, they charge absolutely nothing to these families to be able to take care of them. The average length of stay is about 16 days. So each time we get a guest, the average is that they are, pass within about 16 days. But during that time, we give them such great care and love, and really wrap around the families in ways that people have never had before in our community.
Yeah. No, it is such an important thing for our community. But yeah, we should do another episode and get into all the stories. That'd be a fun episode. Just you go through all the guest house stories, beginning to end. Maybe we could write something up, and then you could do it like theatrical, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Do it like an audiobook or something. Let's do it. I think that'd be fun and interesting and different. So thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to get into our person of the day.
Fierce gnome. Without further ado, Fierce gnome.
The fierce gnome.
Her name is Lovely.
Lovely.
On the game. That's right.
The game.
Robin is huge. I just want to give you a little background before we dive into Robin. I've known Robin since I was 18. Well, maybe a little bit earlier than that.
I didn't realize that. I'm so sorry.
I was I was pretty early in my career as a worship pastor, and I was interning. I wasn't doing anything yet. And so I was just interning and hanging out at the church, helping lead once in a while, that kind of stuff. And met Robin there during that time, and so she was there when Nika and I started dating, when we started growing as a couple, and all sorts of things. And we lost contact. You know how life gets. How people are like me, and. I was talking to someone about board members because I was doing this new Good Shepherd thing. I'm like, I don't know. I don't have anyone. No one's really interested because we're a small nonprofit and we haven't done a lot yet. And one of the people he mentioned was Robin. Hey, have you called Robin? And I'm like, you know what? I remember her. I haven't talked to her in a long time. Shoot me your number and I'll give her a call. Gave her a call. And it was not an absolute yes at first. It was a thinking about it, going through it. Is this something that fits for me in your life? Which is good. I'm glad you did that. And you were one of the first board members I recruited.
He suckered in
for Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. So thank you for listening and being a part of that. And I'd love to hear your version of that story I just told a little bit, and maybe how you were inspired to join the board of directors for Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet, and then we'll get into the stockroom manager stuff. Oh. But you first were a board member before you were the stockroom manager. So I'd like to start there if that's okay.
Sure. You don't want me to tell them stuff I know about you from the past?
Uh-oh.
She's
Not
also
everything.
Baby Stevie's babysitter as
She
well.
knew me as the
the
little punk skater kid that was coming out of that phase.
I think I knew you after
Emo?
that, though.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Let's see. Dave told her pretty much the right. It was like I was asked through a mutual friend if I'd be interested in being on the board of Good Shepherd. I had heard of Good Shepherd. I will be honest, I didn't know a whole lot at that time yet. But I also knew I had just newly retired and I was looking for some kind of volunteer work and just hadn't, found or felt where I was supposed to go.
Right.
And, but, and Dave's right. He asked me and I did have to think about it. And obviously, in the end, I said yes. I've been on the board for a little over 2 years now.
Woo-hoo. No, it's been longer than that.
It has, because I've been on the board 2 years, actually.
Yeah,
I've only
it's
been
been
president
longer.
a year.
October 2022.
October 2022.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I
That's over 2
Okay, that's a little over
when
2
I
years.
officially got on the board.
Because I came on as executive director August of that year. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yep. And
Right? Is my numbers working?
I think so, because I actually got involved.
That's funny. It feels longer, guys.
I got involved.
It does,
I got involved February 2023.
Yeah.
And so.
So February will be your 2-year mark.
Yes. Sorry. So.
That makes sense.
that's right. It's 25.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wow,
gosh.
that
I keep
is-
forgetting.
That's crazy. Look at this. And honestly, though, I'm not even joking. It feels like we've been doing this forever. We've gone through some great ups, but also some downs, and it's been quite the journey. And you both are amazing board members, and I don't know what I would do without you. I really don't.
Well, thank you. And then, Robin, you're also Baby Stevie's nanny. It was so cute. She said the other day, she's like, and we can't forget, I'm like the official title or something about, it was Monday, and the last Monday, and something about that, she watches Baby Stevie, and what a blessing that is. So
It is.
It really
It
is,
really
though.
is.
He's so beautiful.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
It's wonderful to have him here.
I know.
And get the opportunity to, even though he's a little over 2 months old, to be watching him grow. He's done so much already, and I love to carry him. But when it's time for a change, here, Mom.
That's the benefits, right?
So tell us a little bit more about your board journey, then, Robin. I'd love to hear it.
Well, I then came on the board in October 2022 as the board treasurer.
Yeah.
And probably not long after that, I started volunteering in the back, in the stockroom, and just sorting clothes for, our donations that we get. And we appreciate them a lot. And I just enjoyed it, and just kind of did that once a week and did the board things because, treasurer is not necessarily just
That's a tough role.
5-minute thing a month. There's lots involved in being a treasurer, as a lot of people will know, on a board or in any situation, I guess. But then when was it? Last spring, Dave? I think we started talking about the need for someone to just kind of help out, and Dave needs to go to meetings, someone to be here to let volunteers in the doors and kind of guide them. And so I started doing that.
Which is really hard. I just want to add, because, with volunteers, there's lots of personalities, but you do a really great job of helping give clear direction on behalf of Dave and keeping the store organized, but also really investing and loving the volunteers and just supporting them, because they're amazing and they give a lot, but there's also got to be some kind of, organization, right? And because there's a lot of chaos with all the clients in the back room. But I just want to say, Robin, you've done an incredible job getting the back room organized, and you should see it back there. It's incredible. It's really coming along thanks to your brother Bud, right? Mm-hmm. And your sister-in-law Karen. Mm-hmm. Karen?
Yep, I've recruited
Karen.
Family.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought you said Carrie. I was like, wait, I thought it was Karen. I just want to make sure. Yeah, Karen and Bud are amazing, and you're amazing.
Yes, they are. So well, thank you. It's my pleasure. I do enjoy it, and you're right about the amount of different personalities every day.
Especially our clients, yeah.
Yeah, and I would say that most days, it's great. And I have no complaints. You're gonna have your occasional, rough day.
Yeah. And some of the people we help are going through a really tough time. Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, not that it's an excuse for their behavior, but there's a lot of places they go, a lot of services where they're treated like garbage. I'm just going to be honest with you. Not all. We have some great partners. But there are some places they go and people don't treat them like a human being. And so to be able to, still love on them even when they're having a really bad day and maybe they just lost their house, or maybe they got kicked out of the Caris campus, or maybe it's a child being bullied at school who's really having an attitude. I think it's incredible the kindness that you guys show out there and just giving them that safe space.
Yeah, and absolutely. And
it's important.
I'd like to add on to that. Robin is people are very drawn to Robin.
Yes.
I've seen situations that could have gone very differently with other people that have been in similar positions as Robin is right now. But because of her attitude towards them, because of her kindness, her care, she dissolves them like that.
Yeah.
She really does. She is amazing. She is invaluable. And just seeing her wings fly in this position is amazing. Is really amazing. And I mean, that stockroom looks different. And then, like I said, beyond that, she's still a board member. And now she's just a board member, not treasurer anymore. Woohoo!
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim, for taking that on. And you did a great job, Robin, holding the fort down in the meantime. And so we thank you for that. But we're excited that you can really be dedicated not only as a board of director, but to the
I am too.
Yeah. And you've done an amazing job. And this board journey together that we've been on has been crazy. It's been crazy. So thank you for being a part of that and helping when a lot of people wouldn't. Yeah. So that's the reality, is you were there when a lot of people said no to me, right? You said yes when you could have just said no. And to have that, and you could have just stayed happy and retired, and I'm not doing nothing, I don't want to be stressed anymore. Instead, you took your skills, your talent, your kindness, your well-rounded attitude, and decided to serve the community.
Decided to be the change that you wish to see in the world, like our cliche saying. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it is amazing to see the growth of the organization since you've been here.
It's exciting. I feel like we're about to get the harvest. Like, there's been a lot of foundational work, and now we get to see all these exciting things happening. And even though it's making Robin a little nervous because there's big projects coming, We're going to make sure, with your giving out there and your continued not only support, but maybe if you haven't been able to give and you're giving to be able to add a position or two down the road with the proper projects, we'll make sure that Robin's supported and Dave and our whole organization. But it's exciting. It really is.
It is. It's very exciting.
And I was thinking about this the other day. It's crazy to me. We just talked about times and dates and everything, right? Guys, we haven't been doing this that long.
I know.
It feels so much longer. It really does. And in a good way. And the history of learning it all. And it was hard work. It was really hard work to make this happen. But because of an amazing board that we have and volunteers and you donating financially and time and everything you were doing, the listener, right, and sharing, we're able to help even more people than we've ever been able to.
Which is really what matters the most, right?
That's our goal.
That's the heart of the organization.
We just want to help people. Crazy thought.
Yeah. There's been times I've been frustrated and wanting to give up, just like you have, just like I'm sure that Robin has.
What?
And just like certain volunteers. Well, no, all of it, right? When we hit adversity or just challenges and being able, and I like to remind, I know I tell Dave this because we both get discouraged sometimes. We're like, we should be farther along, but you're right. In 2 years or 2.5 years or 3 years, when we look back from where we've come, because of your guys' support and encouragement and trust, it is incredible, and I can't imagine where we're going to be in another 2 years.
Hindsight's 20/20, isn't it?
Yeah.
Robin, is there anything you want to share? Is there like an impactful story you've had with a client that you want to share before we close it out? Because you've had a lot of interactions with clients.
I have. I think this is the one that comes to mind is to me a rather adorable story. It's a grown man. He's got a family. His mom came to visit from Guatemala. He doesn't speak much English, but enough to tell me that this was his mama from Guatemala. And he was beaming. He was so excited to take her shopping in Good Shepherd's. And so we signed her in, gave her list, they went shopping, and he couldn't do enough for his mom, but he was so thrilled that he could do this for her. And when I saw him again, I said, where's Mama? And he goes, Guatemala. And that just touched my heart because I've seen this man a few times and never, ever did I see him beam like this. He was just lit up. And it made my day to watch him be so proud of his mom and to be able to share Good Shepherds with her. And that meant a lot to him.
I mean, it's not just those who are homeless or displaced, and that is a great story because it just shows it's families who may be struggling a little bit financially or having a hard time. It makes me think of like it's not just helping those who actually pick out the clothes; it's the family. I always think of the parents that come and bring their children in. What that must feel like for a parent to not be able to buy new clothing and to feel bad that there's holes in their child's clothes, like the things we take for granted. I know I do as a father. To be able to give them some dignity as well. They're able to come here and help let their children shop at no cost and provide clothing. That's a perfect example with him and his mom, and we serve all. That is so true. Like if you got a Clarity card, a passport, it doesn't matter. We're going to make sure that you're taken care of, and that's very rare.
Well, and the question I get, so that story sparks two things that I want to share for sure. One, we don't discriminate. Anyone at all can come in and get help. They need help. And two, people will ask me, and I've gotten this question quite a bit. Well, how do you know people aren't taking advantage of you? And I normally say, well, there might be some, absolutely. But I'd like to see you volunteer here for one full day. Volunteer here one full day. See the faces and the human beings that we're helping. And you tell me if everyone's taking advantage of us.
Yeah,
it's impossible.
That's a negative outlook.
And the reality is, is we don't know where people are.
Right.
And to have a service that's free. And guys, bottom line, this is clothing donated by the community that is not going in landfills.
Yep.
That's not going to thrift stores and being sold.
For a profit.
And it's helping people. It's helping people. I mean, how important is that? And that's my response to that mindset is, I mean, it's clothing that isn't being thrown away, which I've been guilty. Before I knew of Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet, I've been guilty of throwing away clothing.
Oh, me too.
Because I didn't know.
Truly.
I didn't know what to do. Because Savers or Goodwill wouldn't take it. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? But the reality is when you donate here, financially and clothing-wise, when we said earlier we stretch that dollar, we stretch that dollar. We help that family. Mm-hmm. We help that family that might not be able to afford a T-shirt. Mm-hmm. That $10 T-shirt that we talked about earlier. So, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
Yes, thank you guys.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right. Well, I think that's a good place to close it out.
Because we help.
You're going to steal my line?
No, just kidding.
You're going to steal my line?
I can't do it like you do it. And it's so genuine when you do it. I mean, it's genuine when I do it too, but you believe it and I believe it. And so I like to second you.
You second me. I like it. We help over 800 people a month, no matter what.
Or more.
We're asking you to come alongside and help one. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We will see you next week. Have a good MLK Day.
Oh, the axes
Thanks for inviting me.
And we're gonna have a great 25. So thank you guys.
Yes, thank you. Love you guys.